Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 93 of the Man and John Makeup Podcast. We're doing it live. We had some technical difficulties during I blame Zoom. Just crashed on me. But anyways, we're doing it live here, so this was a good way to do it. We got a couple things to talk about here. We have, as always, near the end of the show, the last segment, wrestling talk. Then tonight we have UFC 264. We're going to preview that. Loki episode 5 this past Wednesday. But first, let's talk about some hockey. The Stanley Cup playoffs are over. We have back-to-back champions, the Tampa Bay Lightning, winning in 5 over the Montreal Canadiens. Not much of a series. They won 1-0 earlier this week. John, thoughts on the Lightning, and we'll just start with the Lightning in general.
Yeah, not exactly surprising. Like pretty much after game 1 or game 2, I was like, I'll be shocked if this goes past 5 games. Hell, I thought there was a good chance that they could possibly sweep the series. But they end up getting a game in like Montreal there. But it was just clear from the get-go, like that Tampa Bay was just a far superior team, and it just made me really wish that we had Tampa Bay versus Vegas, because to me that would have been such a much more competitive series. As I said, and on past shows, felt like that it would have been similar to how Vegas and Colorado was. But this, you just knew like it was just going to be not a very competitive series. And it sucks because honestly, outside of the Stanley Cup final, it was a really good set of Stanley Cup playoffs, but just
after that first game, I was like, okay, maybe we'll see the game 2, and then game 2 they just looked dominant again, and okay. I said last week maybe Montreal gets that back against the wall win at home, which they did, but I'm like, it doesn't go past 5. And I missed the last game because I was out, and I looked at the score late at night and I saw 1-0. I went, Jesus, like Montreal couldn't even get one goal. Vasilevsky shut it down. Yeah. He got Conn Smythe.
As he should have. There's I wouldn't even put two better netminders than him right now. Like it's right. Like he's like right at the top 2, I would say right now. So they become the first back-to-back Stanley Cup champion since the 2016 and 2017 Pittsburgh Penguins, and not what Sportsnet said the first time in over 20 years. I'm like, guys, did we literally forget
they were in a coma?
That this happened literally not even like 5 years ago. Like it just
4 years. Yep, 4 years to be exact.
Like, come on now. It's just
now, I saw a lot of Twitter comments of people, or even Facebook, whatever, of people saying this is not comparable to the Penguins because the Penguins had 2 full regular seasons to win theirs, where Tampa Bay had a shortened COVID season and a bubble and other loopholes, and it's not the same. I mean, I don't know.
I don't exactly buy that. Like, no. It's like you still had to go through full full postseasons still. So it's like, okay, they played like what 20 less games. I mean, like is it really that big of a difference there? And even if they added on 20 more games, like I don't think it would have exactly had mattered. I mean, and on top of that, you throw into the whole how everything was so complicated with the new rules as far as like as them only facing 6 teams, basically the same exact 6 teams in the regular season and all, and on top of that with threat of COVID, like yeah, I don't exactly buy that. Like a lot of teams went through a lot of shit, to say the least. So,
I don't want to. Yeah, I'm not going with that. It's just it's not fair because of the circumstances for that. But it's still impressive to see back-to-back champions, especially in salary cap era, and this close, 4 years apart. So it was still impressive there. You would say one of the favorites, because most of the core is back next year. You probably still have the Colorados, the Vegases. I forget who else.
Islanders,
yeah,
they're there too. It's all gonna really be interesting because too, with the expansion draft, which is gonna be coming up here pretty soon, free agency there and everything, which I believe is gonna be happening with in the next few weeks here, actually. So
yeah.
So we got all of that stuff coming up there. So yeah, we'll see how all of that turns out. But congratulations to the Tampa Bay Lightning, who are now the Stanley Cup champions for the second season in a row. All right, we're going to move on here. Do you want to get into some UFC talk here, Matt?
You want to go Loki first?
Yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Because I have that down. I don't want to erase all this.
Okay.
We had Loki episode 5, next to last episode. We saw a lot more Lokis. We had the interaction with the 4 we saw, and everybody's favorite alligator Loki.
Man, like that guy is popular as freaking hell right now. Like I just see a lot of people
the old Loki, or the classic Loki, technically. Alligator. Yeah, everybody.
Alligator Loki. Alligator.
I saw one with him and Morbius riding a jet ski, and I laughed. Hysterically.
That was hilarious.
So yeah, we had that. We had President. Was it President Loki or Politician Loki?
Politician Loki.
And then other variants of that, and they're all fighting each other. And the our Loki just like,
hey guys,
myself, what the hell? I'm just gonna move out of the way.
Yeah. And like the weird thing going on with him and like female Loki is just weird. Like really.
The only person
really
who loves is himself. Deeper meaning. I feel like
I mean, like
it's just like everybody. He said everybody he's ever liked / loved or whatever, like me, he kind of like betrayed them or pushed them away.
Like
he has a connection with Sylvie, who's technically
himself.
Yeah. And so you got that weird sexual tension in the air.
Yeah, and them sitting at the very end of the episode together and trying to describe how they feel about each other was just weird. weird. So it's just, I'm like, I felt so uncomfortable watching that. It was just like, oh god, it was just so awkward.
And then so they was a Leviathan. He charms and chants the monster because she kind of saw it before, and then the Leviathan, yeah, that's the name, opens up at the end this place. I'm not sure what place it is exactly, but presumably it's where we find the main villain, the whole start. I think past the void. I think they're saying in the timeline, so the whole thing maybe behind the TVA and everything.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff's going down next week.
It's gonna shape up to be a really big finale. And honestly, I have no idea where this is gonna go. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say Sylvie is gonna die here. I'm kind of expecting that, honestly.
I'm gonna assume we're gonna figure out what her Nexus event was and why they took her.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody theorized. Oh, I gotta remember that she didn't want to cause chaos in just trying to was calm and stuff, like opposite of other Lokis. So maybe she did something that wasn't what she like, opposite of what everybody else was. So like,
right.
Since I saw a theory on that could be interesting. I mean, it kind of makes sense in a way.
Right.
We saw her not doing anything when they had that flashback. I think in the beginning, episode 2 or 3. She was kind of just playing with dolls or something, and they just came and snatched her away.
Yeah. Basically, they just snatched her up, and she was on the run ever since there.
So that's interesting. So we're pretty much going to find that out. One would assume the main villain or antagonist. That I forget the judge's name. Probably going to show up somehow to get past the void.
Yeah.
C-130, C-30, whatever.
Yeah.
I think she's still. So I think everything's going to come to a head. I'm really excited. I saw. How old is this? I read this article from 8th. Okay, Daily Reporter here, Hollywood Reporter, of I guess just Nielsen streaming ratings for Loki. I think all they have is in this article. I think it's just the premiere. So the first episode had 731 million minutes of viewing time, higher than Falcon and Winter Soldier at 495 and WandaVision at 434.
Wow! Holy shit!
Yes, and apparently more than 14 million Disney Plus accounts watched the premiere.
Wow!
So
that should pretty much tell you how big of a character that like Loki is and how popular he is, and on top of that, how good of an actor that like Tom Hiddleston is. Because man, I mean, I'm shocked that they blow those two shows out of the water as far as from a viewership standpoint.
And those are probably still freaking good. Yeah. But it's beat out by Lucifer on Netflix and Sweet Tooth on Netflix, which Sweet Tooth had 1.43 billion minutes viewed. Lucifer had 1.01 billion. And I gotta see.
Is it listed on their
I don't know. I gotta see what
for the Mandalorian.
I don't know. There's just article just on Loki, and I gotta see if anybody can find these Nielsen streaming.
Right.
I didn't know they had that streaming ratings.
Right.
Nobody really says anything.
No.
Let me see. Top 10 Nielsen video games. Hang on. I guess it's relatively new, I guess. Okay, streaming. I'm on Nielsen's website. Let's see what it says here. Whoa, damn it. Did it change? I don't know what's happening here.
All right. Well,
well, if I find it,
yeah. Well,
oh, here we go. It says it's pretty much the same thing. Number through 1 is 731 million minutes. That's the week of this June 7th, June 13th. I don't know if can I change it? Why? How did I not have anything else? Maybe it's like once a month. I don't know.
But yeah. So now we're gonna move on to some UFC 264 talk. So as tonight we see the return of Conor McGregor. This is his trilogy fight against Dustin Poirier. In which, to me, Matt, this is an absolute must win for Conor.
Yes.
And Dana has even said that basically whoever like wins this fight is going to be getting a title shot against Charles Oliveira, which I would assume is going to happen at the end of this year. So a lot of them stakes here, and you have to wonder, like if Conor loses here, how many more fights is he gonna have in him? Because man, it's just like it's such a pivotal fight, and I'm just not sure where his mindset is. But as you can, if you paid attention to any of the like media building up, Conor has turned completely heel now. Like he's like just trying to do everything to get under Dustin's skin here, which it's coming off really awkward and extremely forced at this point. If you ask me, he's going after his like wife and everything now. So it's like it's super weird right now. But Conor feels that he needs to get into this like mode in order to get to eventually where he wants to eventually be. And I do feel like that for this time around, him being in front of a like full crowd and in like Las Vegas is going to be a very important factor. But at the same time, Conor needs to be able to stop those freaking leg kicks, because they were a good reason why he lost. And also with the takedowns, it was also a thing too in his second fight against Dustin. So he really needs to really hone those parts of his game there. Yep. So I do think Conor is going to like win, but I don't say that very confidently. I just am not sure where his head is. I'm currently at.
I took a parlay. I bet against him because every time he was probably going to screw me over. But I don't know. I think just the last couple fights, I
only picked him here because in fights where he had a immediate rematch, he won. So like I'm banking on that being a possibility, and on two with a full crowd. I feel like
possible,
yeah, so those are the two things I am currently holding on to. But man, it just if he doesn't have any sort of adjustments from the last fight, then it's not going to be any different here. So that's going to be the key there, and obviously, as I said, who everyone's here is probably is going to be getting a title shot somewhere soon. And then and as a look at the other fights here, Matt, a lot of really good fights here. I would say this is by far this is probably the best Conor card probably since his fight against Eddie Alvarez. Like there's like really good fights. I mean, I'm not just on the main card, but also on the ESPN prelims. Like I look at like Gilbert Burns versus Wonder Boy. That is a really good fight. Greg Hardy versus Ty Tuivasa, a really good fight. Sean O'Malley is going to absolutely just destroy this guy.
Minus 1,000 favorite.
Yeah, well, yeah, because basically the guy who's facing is fighting in like his first fight in the company, and he's on like about like 9 days notice here. So it's
I'm like, why are you putting me up against him?
Yeah, it's just if this gets past if this gets past one round, I will be shocked. Like that's going to be an absolute freaking massacre. And then when you look on the ESPN prelims, you have a Carlos Condon versus Max Griffin. That's going to be a slugfest. Like Nico Price versus Michael Piera. I mean, that's going to be a really, really good fight there too. So a lot of really interesting fights are up and down on this card here. So I'm really outside of Dustin versus Conor. There's a lot of extremely fun fights here. So yeah. Do you think that this does over like 1.5 million buys here?
What is his last fight? 1.
Okay, Conor McGregor. I think his last fight against Poirier. Let me see if they have this on here.
Trying to think. Was that in front of? The last one in front of people, right?
It was like limited. It was on like Fight Island, which I think had about like 4,000 people there.
I want to see relative.
Okay, 257 had like 1.6 million.
I say it does.
And, yeah, I think it'll do close
like 1.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna do close to like 2. Actually, I'm gonna say around like 1.8 is gonna be or where I'm gonna guess. And just for some more further numbers here, Conor versus Cowboy did a little for like 1.3 million. So pretty much for a Conor fight, yeah, like you're probably are banking on at least like 1.3 million. So I'm kind of expecting that to be in the ballpark. And on top of that, when you include the other fights on this card, it's going to really help. So yeah, that should be a very interesting night, and we will be there to watch it. All right. Now we're going to get into some professional wrestling talk, and we'll start with the Great American Bash. which I thought was a really fun show. A some nitpicks here and there, but I really enjoyed it. Adam Cole and Kyle just beat the shit out of each other for about 20 minutes. So that was good. I do feel like though that, and we'll start with the opener, Matt. I really feel like that we should have had that we should have had new champions here, but that's and you and I disagree on this, but I just wish that the finish of that match wasn't a fucking roll up. It's Raw and SmackDown has conditioned me to freaking hate these finishes now. It's not so much NXT, it's more so Raw and SmackDown doing this shit over and over again that have made me just absolutely
I
groan.
I blocked that. I
with those
blocked that
finishes
out.
here.
I blocked that out.
But
the lead open obviously for a rematch because it wasn't a definitive pin. It was a roll up. So
actually, man, I think they're going to be going with Hit Row versus MSK for the. I feel like they're probably are going there before they go back for Ciampa versus Thatcher again because technically it was a clean pin. It just wasn't a slam dunk.
Yeah, I mean
thing in there.
Do that, and then you could do Thatcher Ciampa against MSK. Not MSK. Hit Row.
Yeah. So
we'll see. There's a lot of options they can go with here. But it was still a hell of a match. I've really enjoyed it. Good opener. So yeah, that leaves a lot of interpretation possibly of where they can go, and I guess we'll see. Obviously, Tuesday. I'm sorry. What the plans are. And you still technically have, and it's still not too early. I'm just saying in the future, you have Diamond Mine waiting in the wings slowly. Way up. It's way off, but they're there.
They're gonna be more longer term. I feel,
but they're getting some more options there. So a lot more going on in that tag division compared to last year.
Night and freaking day. But I think also too we're seeing a lot of current call ups, which one that surprised me was Tegan Knox, who is now just going by is going. Is
that official?
No,
I know they call it, but
she is going as only as Knox, and Shotzi is just going as Shotzi. So, which
Shotzi,
is
I can.
Tegan's name. I hate that name so badly. It's just just call her freaking Tegan Knox. It just
I hope that doesn't stick. I'm wondering if that's a one day thing.
I hope not.
I didn't catch it. I swear when I watched the highlights, I heard Tegan Knox. I didn't even focus on what you were saying.
Well, if you heard the Henringa announcer, he just referred to her as Knox, whereas Cole and Pat called her by her full name.
So then I'm just interested to see what happens next week.
Right.
Because if they're not on the same page and something off, because here's my thing here. Now, if there was supposed to be Knox, right? But if Michael Cole and Pat have direct line to Vince, if they would have messed up, you would assume he would have said something, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they just say
Yeah,
not.
like yeah, like
But that's why I
it
want to
was
wait a
weird.
week.
Yeah, yeah, like
They
we'll
changed
see
it.
what and also too
Was
and
that
also too
that was recorded, right?
what
Was that SmackDown Live or was this recorded before they go?
it was live. It was live.
Okay. If
And
it was
also
recorded,
too
then that
right.
raises more questions.
And also too Tony Storm,
Yeah,
she's also is getting called up, which I mean, like, yeah, it's cool to see all of these girls are getting called up, and like Lord knows SmackDown freaking needs it. At the same time, it's like I have zero faith in either Raw or
I
SmackDown
have more
that
faith in SmackDown than Raw.
yeah yeah I mean
I was like, good, they're on SmackDown. At least there's a shot.
yeah, but the problem is like it doesn't exactly matter who is getting called up if these
Oh,
people
no.
don't know what to freaking do with these people, and we have seen it so many times. I mean, how many NXT people have been called up and just
At least they gave them at least they gave them somewhat of a big, shocking win. So it wasn't like they came up and you go, oh crap! Oh, seriously? Like, so they gave them a win. It's a
at the
good.
same time their champions are losing
I
again,
know.
which is still a giant pet peeve.
I know. I
Of
immediately
mine.
thought of you, but I'm looking
Right.
at it in terms of call-ups. It wasn't embarrassing. It wasn't like
No,
it wasn't like
it was.
it wasn't like when Keith Lee came up like, oh, he's wearing a skirt.
Yeah,
It was
well,
like, oh,
yeah,
they came out and they beat
that's
the
true.
champions. Okay, the champions lost. Other issue, but I'm
But
trying to stay positive for 1 week.
I mean, like I so want to as well, man. But it's just
I'm
like
cautiously, very cautiously
man, it's just
optimistic.
like
It could be
the
worse.
just like
It could be worse. It's a good
it could be
first
worse. That is true, but it's like okay, we're involving them in the like women's tags now, and it's like, well, why should we care about that since WWE has like showed us they don't give a single shit about like tag teams. So it's like it's hard to really care, but that's for
but
that
I'm interested now,
right.
and I think this would be the next match on NXT. I think was it the women's match? The tag team match or no?
No, that was later in the night, I believe. Oh no, we had the segment with like Karrion Kross and like Johnny.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, Karrion he will be defending his title next week on NXT against like Johnny Gargano, and a twist here, Matt. Samoa Joe, he will be the special guest referee, and I'm smelling shenanigans here, and it would not surprise me at all if we get a title switch here. Because
you notice what he said.
I know exactly between that
WWE Championship,
exactly, and I think
he's going up. I think he's going up now.
Yeah,
I'm saying he's losing it.
I think we're getting a like new champion here, which honestly I'm not crazy about at all. Johnny, it's just like they couldn't find someone better. Like I mean, like don't get me wrong, but it's just like Johnny really doesn't have a ton of steam behind him right now, and like he just lost his title not even a like month ago. Like it's like I really wish that they could have found someone better, you know.
I think they're going with when possible. You don't think it's going to happen,
right?
Johnny, he's going to talk, and I think the Joe, I think, is there to probably protect Karrion more. If they don't do it right, then it makes sense because you don't believe Johnny's going to win one-on-one.
Right. Do you think it's weird though about the story that they're telling with Karrion and Johnny though? Is like basically Johnny is just telling us about how bad of a professional wrestler that like Karrion Kross is. And it's just a weird thing for them to tell you, just because it's like, okay, I don't think you can really tell that story when Karrion Kross has not come close to being even like pinned at all in his whole entire career.
Yeah, it is. It seems weird,
NXT.
but I think they're going more. I'm trying to play devil's advocate and say that it's more okay. He's just beating people up, and he can't like wrestle in terms of compared to Johnny when it comes to. And they're not saying it that way, which is confusing. But like strictly on wrestling skills and not brute force, Johnny wins. I think that's where they're going. I don't disagree with that sentiment though.
Yeah, it's just like I'm like, why are we telling this here now? A better story to me is like Karrion Kross is just going to be this as like dominant champion, and Johnny should be portraying as the ultimate underdog here. But like they're still portraying him as a heel here.
He's a heel as the underdog. It's like a combine everything. It's a heel with an underdog, but Kross is coming off as the heel as the crowd. Johnny's getting cheered. He's like Johnny is like the lovable heel now. Like he's just like full of himself, but does it in such a way that you kind of like him for doing it. But everybody is compared to Kross. Everybody likes Kross, but they're booing him because they like just Johnny's act more. It's a weird. It's an interesting. It's like you put them in the blend. Johnny in the blender. Put Johnny with face and heel tactics in, and that's what you get.
Yeah, but and another thing I'm concerned about as well.
I almost feel like it's more like, okay, Kross is going up. Vince has picked him. We got to get him up.
Yeah, and one thing I am not happy about him getting caught up is, as you could tell, that there, I'm Scarlett. She was nowhere to be found here. And just judging on things, it doesn't look like that they're going to be a package deal there, which I don't really understand. This smells so similarly to like Lana and like Rusev, where they worked as a tandem, and we're just going to split them up just because. Like, I just don't really understand that. Like, it makes no sense to me at all.
No, you know what that reminds me of? Even more because when Rusev came up, Lana was still with them. AOP, they took Ellering away.
Ellering, yeah, that
initially, like almost instantly.
First night that came out, and that was it. I was like, so we're just going to ignore the past 2 or 3 years of NXT and how important he was to those two guys. They're like, it's just like, this is why I hate it. Why, like, there's no continuity between NXT, Raw, and SmackDown, and this is what really hurts NXT because pretty much what they are telling you, what you did on NXT does not freaking matter, and it should not be that.
Anywho,
but all right, so LA Knight versus Cameron Grimes for the like $1 million title, and actually, Matt, I like this match better than their
ladder match.
Here.
Yeah,
I thought this was
not
really
to take away
good
ladder
here.
match, but yeah, I thought this was going to be really good. A decent match, and it was. Lift up to the height, the hype, at least for me.
Same here.
We had LA Knight win that we thought. because with that stipulation, don't you don't dangle that fun in front of us and take it away.
No.
So now Grimes is going to be the butler.
It's gonna be hilarious. It's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, it's gonna be great. I can't wait. And then obviously, eventually, there's going to be probably
a third match
in some type of stipulation, and then probably in front of maybe hopefully bigger crowds. I don't know if
I'm hoping
plans.
Yeah, but
that pop will be if it was like in a regular arena. People are going to lose their minds, and it's going to be
right. And I tell you, and I've been saying this every single week. Cameron Grimes is over as hell as a babyface. Like
over, like
yeah. I don't think there's two or three guys more over than him right now on NXT as far as like baby faces are concerned. So yeah, that shit's gonna be really entertaining with him just being around LA Knight. And I do think that eventually, probably a takeover, that he will finally have his win. And I said this too. He's going to be getting a title, a title at some point. I mean, like definitely, I definitely see him versus Swerve at some point. And speaking of Swerve, what do you think about that whole thing with him and like a Hit Row? I saw someone say on Twitter, it was like, man, is this this the blackest thing that WWE has ever said? I was like, I never really thought of that, but
I'm close. Yeah. No, I enjoyed it I mean,
really did too.
Just it's a unique celebration.
Completely different from
no shenanigans. It was like, hey, we're cap with the gimmick, and Swerve can freaking rap.
He looked really good here, and man, it's just
they look like that whole group looks like $1 million.
And this just shows you how freaking all in that how like Triple H is on these guys. He just probably just said, hey, just go do you, and just
have a song,
do whatever. And man, like these definitely
be if they eventually turn, they're gonna be fucking over.
Oh yeah, I mean heels or like baby faces, they're pretty much set right now. So I like really like that. And Matt, we have new NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. I didn't think that we would, but man, we have new NXT Tag Team Champions.
If I would have known that Tegan was the battery, then and I totally forgot when she got injured, she was fighting Candice. I was like, oh crap, that's right. It seems so long ago.
Yeah. So Io Shirai and Zoe Starks are the tag team champions, and this at least tells us Io is not getting called up anytime soon. Thank God. So I just hope now we keep these girls as champions for a good while, because now I think we've had like four champions in like the last four.
Raquel, Dakota, Shotzi, Ember, Candice, Indy, and now Io and Zoe. And assume because it's Io, they should hold it. They should
not lose those titles until 2022 22
Mania
at the
week.
earliest. At the earliest,
Wow.
like there have been far too many title switches here, and this has a lot. I feel to do with they don't exactly know where to exactly go with the women's tags right now. So I'm hoping that this will bring some form of stability here. But at the same time, we also need to had some more tag teams on top of that. And with NXT losing Shotzi, Tegan, and Tony Storm, it's like 3 less women there to use there. So hoping now that we will start to build some more teams there. And also too, you still have Dakota and Raquel there too. So
Yeah.
so
And another thing just shows you how high they are on Zoe Stark, who came in, seems like yesterday. Had a competitive match with EO. Other competitive matches, good showings, and now is a tag team champion. Is a champion.
all right.
It seems like 2 months.
Mhm.
It seems like and then
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
Well, and on top of it, it gives a reason to keep EO and Raquel away from each other, because to me that's a second match to do at some point, whether it is at WrestleMania or something. Like I would keep those two far away from each other there, because to me that's probably is your biggest match right now for the NXT women's division there. So
and I'm interested to see what happens now with Tegan getting called up.
Yeah,
if she's gonna do double duty.
I would hope so, and you would think since she just came back here, but then again, Vince probably said he could have said nope. I want her, and that could have been it. So we'll see, but it definitely looks like that we're going to be continuing Candice versus Tegan. So I am very much
we still have Indy, and we got the Indy and Dexter Loomis is alive. Index. The index is alive. Love is gone.
Oh yeah. Like Beth Phoenix.
Weird.
She was
selling the crap out.
Yeah. All right. And then for the final thing on this show, which was Adam Cole versus Kyle O'Reilly, which to my surprise, Adam Cole, he wins, which this also confirms for me, man. He probably is sticking around some more, which I'm happy about, because Lord knows I don't want him anywhere near Raw or SmackDown, just because I do not trust Vince or Bruce to actually use this guy, because they will probably say oh he's too short, and I guarantee you that's probably what they are saying about him. So now that begs the question, where do you go with Cole? Do you just because if Johnny wins, do you do Cole versus Johnny then? Or even if Cross wins, do you go Cole versus do you go Cole versus Cross there too? Because I don't think that they would have Cole win here if they didn't have bigger ideas for him.
I would maybe Cole and Johnny.
Yeah. And as far as Kyle is concerned, I just don't think he is a main event guy. To me, I think he's more of a North American champion. I would also love to see him more with the cruiserweights too. I feel like he would be really good there as well. So I wouldn't mind seeing him there.
I don't think he's found the right. I don't think he's slightly missing something.
Oh yeah,
I'm not saying he can't be main event, because a lot of people
and like, by the way,
going to be man of the person, and then he won it, and they took it off. I think if he finds the right thing, he'd be good.
Yeah, and Kyle and Adams and Adams theme songs suck. Like really, really stink. They're so.
I like Kyle's better.
But man, oh god, they
bad. Adams sounds like a bad remix of Undisputed Era's thing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
That's like the Undisputed theme you buy off of Wish. That's his theme song.
LimeWire. Off of LimeWire.
The Wish one, Facebook. You go on Facebook, you see Wish, and so you expect any but so it's interesting to see where they're gonna go. With that and everybody. Next week is gonna be very interesting.
Yeah. And speaking of interesting, this will pivot us to AEW Road Rager. And Matt, the big news from this, and this shocked everybody. The former Aleister Black, who's going by Malachi Black, is now All Elite. And this happened, Matt, because and you won't believe this. When he got called up, they forgot to switch his contract from an NXT contract to a main event contract. So when they cut him, he only had a 30-day not compete compared to a 90-day. So he could sign because he got cut on June 2nd. Yeah, on June 2nd. So he was free obviously by July 2nd. So wow, what a debut, and it looks like that they're going with him versus Cody Rhodes like all out, which thank God Cody is in something more like meaningful now. He's been feuding with a QT and like his boys for, I swear, like 6 months now. So thank God that's over. But man, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, I was shocked to see him so quickly. It's just funny now. Selena's now on SmackDown, which is hilarious. Cody, it makes an impact. He better win. If he doesn't win, it's just like it's fart in church.
Yep.
Then it's like you just wasted everything. I'm if that one match, because obviously we're probably going to watch it. And I'm intrigued on that. That's like the one match I'm looking forward to now.
Yeah,
Aleister Black's work in NXT in limited capacity on the main roster. So we'll see what the build is moving forward on that.
Yeah, and like you see on like his right eye, he's still selling that.
He's got the cane eye.
Yeah,
Freddie's still selling that. Which is amazing. I totally didn't even put two and two together, which is hilarious.
He's still selling that.
Which
so yeah,
for him.
Yeah, so he like lays out Cody and like Arn. so that's on the horizon. And man, Hangman Page. If there was any dispute on who is this company's top like babyface right now, this pretty much ended that, man. This crowd loved Hangman, and when he came out and beat everyone up, like that was great. This I think is the one thing that out of Kenny's title reign, which is going to be that everyone is going to always recall, because in general Kenny's title reign has been very underwhelming. I felt but this I think is going to make everything worthwhile here. Did like you see any of that segment there or okay?
Nope.
So there's that, and Andrade.
You're leading the blind here.
Okay. Andrade. He faced Seidel, which it wasn't as good as I had hoped. Andrade looked. I'm not sure if he was like rusty or like nervous, but it just didn't really click well as I thought that it would. But obviously he wins. Not exactly sure where things are going with him, but I thought of this Matt. As far as for All Out, like John Moxley, he doesn't have a title, anything going for that show. I mean, I would love to see him versus Andrade there. That would be really good. And so if we're looking at the current, how we think of the current matches for that show, Hangman versus Kenny, Cody versus Tommy End, aka Malachi Black, and I mean, as far as like those two matches, and if you had like say Brett versus like Thunder Rosa, man, like shaping up to be a really good show. And have you heard anything about like Brett's promo from Wednesday at all?
I can't remember, but I did something. Was it something against? I heard, I saw something. I forget. Remind me.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, she cut a promo, and this was about when like Nyla Rose took her out, and when she had to be in a tag team match. It was like her and like Reba, versus Nyla and like Vicky, and she was complaining about that, and she like referenced Tony Khan, because she felt, or no, because like this, because this was a favor of Tony Khan for like Vicky, for like bringing in Andrade, and she was like, well, if he wants some of that like blood money, why don't we go into Saudi Arabia next week?
That's it. Okay. Yeah,
I was like, oh my god, chill, Brit, chill. and all you hear is like the crowd just going, oh shit. And another thing that happened on the show, Matt, did you see the fan who tried to attack?
I didn't see it, but I did hear about it. Yeah.
Apparently, he tried to attack MJF and Jericho just he like punches him. And then this guy, he goes on to social media, and he tags like Jim Cornette and Brian Last. He was like, hey guys, hey guys, how did I like look? And Jim Cornette and Brian Last just buried this guy. They're like, dude, you look like a complete and utter idiot. And he was like, hey, and they're like, hey, we don't love everything about this company, but I mean, there is no room for that shit. And they buried him, and they like blocked him and everything. That was hilarious. I was like, damn, it's weird now when Jim Cornette and AEW are sort of coming together now for something like that.
Oh yeah, no, they don't like, I don't know, fans messing around.
Right.
That's not what you're supposed to do. That's stupid crap. But yeah, it is kind of
hilarious now.
Yeah.
Um. So so now I'm trying to think where I want to say oh yeah, so now like really good show which was ended by a street fight between the Bucks versus Eddie Kingston and Pentagon Jr. A crazy match, a really good match. Can't exactly complain about this. And just some other news, Matt. All Out, Dynamite, and like Rampage for the week. Oh, that they are and like Chicago is completely sold out, which sold out in like about like 30 minutes. Not exactly a surprise, but it's like, guys, for these pay-per-views, we need to have like bigger venues now, like these like 10,000 seated arenas for your big shows. I think we are kind of past that now. So I'm hoping going into 2022 that they decide to like run like for example in Chicago at the like United Center or something. It's just time to like take a like another step there, especially since they are going to be running Arthur Ashe. I believe it's on sometime in September, and they're also going to be at the Prudential Center on top of that in that same month. So they have proven that they can sell out these like venues here. So yeah, that was pretty much everything with Dynamite and AEW there. And like last piece of news here, Matt. Jimmy Uso. He has now had a fourth count, not one, not two, not three, but 4 DUIs, which was reported by like TMZ. I believe it was on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday or like Wednesday, and that he blew a .205, which was almost like 3 times of Florida's like limit. And you would think, hey, we should like write him off of TV. No. Do we do that? No. What do? We put him in the biggest storyline with the biggest guy in the company, and WWE just pretty much acts like that it never happened. In my opinion, this sends a horrible message, but at the same time, not everyone lives with the same rules too. So I get that, but it's like, man, I can understand after like 1, but like 4 now. 4. Ugh.
Insert Fast and Furious family meme. That's what it is. Family is stronger.
Right.
Roman. I don't know. I don't know what is going on behind the scenes, because you would think if you look at the past thing, they would have done something. I don't know. I don't know, because like Jeff Hardy, they would release him, and I don't know. It is kind of weird.
Yeah,
but I don't know if like, do we keep him? I don't know. If we're going back on the road, that distraction, does that help? I don't know.
But
I don't
man,
know. They're like, maybe like you can't. I don't know if they came back like, okay, you came back, you're doing this, you're in a big storyline. You do it again, you're done. I don't know.
It's just like
you and then both be big. You and your brother are out. Like,
yeah.
Then you screw up, your brother's out too. I don't know from behind the scenes, but it is. They did slightly mention it without mentioning it.
Yeah.
Um,
But it's like at the same time, it's like, okay, is it going to actually learn here? Because when is this company going to actually do something about it? On when he actually kills someone, like because to me that's pretty much where we are at this point. Like, I mean, like 4 times now.
I wonder if Roman had any influence.
I would not be surprised about it because since he was involved in this storyline, he probably said, "Hey, like, I'll do whatever I can, just keep him on TV." Which I'm like,
If he screws up, it's on me.
I don't know, but it's just like
I don't know.
Being on TV should be the last thing on this guy's mind,
unless they will eventually take him out and then want to just didn't.
Right. Maybe after SummerSlam they'll take him out, but it's like, man, like guys, like this man needs to get his life in freaking order. Like it's just like I know, like sooner or later he's not only going to be putting himself in danger, but other people in danger.
I don't know.
Like why? Why is he getting behind a freaking wheel when he's that freaking smash there? But yeah, Matt, if you have nothing else, I think we should be there.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty much. I'm pretty much good. So yeah. So thanks everybody for watching this live edition of Matt and John Make a Podcast. This was episode 93. You know the deal. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I already have the chapter labels ready to go. So when this is done loading, if you want any specific talk, it's going to be there. All the information to follow us. Well, you could see our main page, Twitter, right? I'm pointing at it at MJ Make a Podcast. John's Twitter. Is that your Twitter handle?
Yeah.
Not 492.
Yeah, it's like 412 now.
So I should change. Oh, I have to change this now.
Yeah. You should probably change it.
I gotta change.
I forgot to tell you. I forgot to tell you about that.
Okay, well that's a change. I'm gonna go in. Son of a bitch. Anywho, that was an easy change. So yeah, again, thanks for watching. We're gonna have one episode next week and then take a week off because we are going on vacation. So obviously you're not gonna have time to do one. So for John, I'm Matt. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you